So today we're very excited to have Jessica Koch, who will be, our guest speaker for tonight. Jessica brings a wealth of wisdom and knowledge and trainings and lots of expertise in different areas that I will let her, give her pitch for it. But today she's gonna speak about, LinkedIn specifically, and she has lots of tips that help me personally and will blow your mind for what she can do for your LinkedIn profile and for what you could benefit from her learning. So I really want to make sure that you all have a piece of paper and pen, just to write down what you will learn and try to practice. So today she's going to cover creating a dynamic, memorable, complete profile in LinkedIn, a quick review of key points to navigate the platform, cutting edge, ahead of the curve actions you can take to stand out, innovated research techniques, and free tools to help you get work with the company of your dreams. One more thing also, article writing, something that we sometimes miss, how to set yourself to be an industry leader in your field, and speaking opportunities that will look a killer in your resume. So with that, I will hand it over to Jessica. The floor is yours.
Hi, everybody. I'm so sad I didn't get to hear everybody's background and industry. Really quickly, I'm going to just say I'm the Italian mother of 7 children. I have been in the sales and marketing space with the Fortune 1000 and the government throughout the country, throughout my country, for more than 25 years. I've been asked to speak all over the country. In the last 3 years, I've been speaking internationally. I have my own consulting firm. I work in 6 different countries with clients, including several of the Fortune 1000. And it is my pleasure and thrill to teach you some really great things. And I'm going to go super, super fast, but it's okay because he promises to share the recording, which you have this power to slow me down or pause me or rewind me. My husband wishes he had such power. So you guys are being good, you'll be in good hands, okay? Lots of different resources, lots of things to cover. We might have to have me back again because I don't know if we'll get through it all, but I'm gonna do my absolute best. Is there a way to save the chat in?
I will take care of that. Yeah, sure.
Okay, because I don't know how to do that. This is the whole new territory. He's taking me out of the world of Zoom, which I'm not complaining. All right, we're going to try the share button and see if it works. Technology, somebody be with us, okay? Let's see. So I want to share my whole desktop because I'm going to jump all around. So I think I'm going to pick this one. Can you see everything?
Yeah.
Are we good? Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna run super fast, and you are in charge of chat because I cannot see it. So it's like I'm talking to myself, which is normal for me. So it's okay. I can talk to myself all the time. And good news is if I make a joke and you don't laugh, don't feel bad. I always laugh, so at least somebody is laughing. So it's all good. All right, we're gonna start at the top. The most important thing about LinkedIn is just like you would not show up hopefully in your sweatsuit or completely in the buff to an interview, you need to have your LinkedIn profile dressed from head to toe. So you want to be dressed in your very best, just like you would show up in an interview. And so think of this profile from head to toe as your clothing in that interview. So you want to have a really, really filled out profile. This backdrop here, the space behind your face, I call it. I think it's called a LinkedIn banner. And the technical terms, you can create on Canva for free. So if you don't know about Canva, hopefully everybody does. But there is genuinely a free version, canva.com, and it has a right size template. I'm going to tell you something about the template really quickly. It is not perfect. Okay, so when you create your LinkedIn banner, inside this template, you do, even though the size says it's correct, when you're creating this, you want to make sure that this little bit sliver at the top and a little sliver at the bottom, you leave because it doesn't actually completely fit. And so you don't want to go all the way to the edges of this. And then you just download it and upload it into LinkedIn. It's very important to have something here. If you're not with a company right now, you can put something industry specific, something maybe that an image that speaks about you, could even be where you live. So it could be a skyline or the major city near you, lots of different different options. Make sure you're using something that doesn't have a copyright hook to it. You probably all know about this already, but this is a great resource. And so, for example, let's see what they got for Canada. Okay, so say you wanted city skyline or something. Here you go. Here Toronto seems to be the example of the evening. So you can download this for free, but the most important thing to see here is free for commercial use, no attribution required. It's always nice to give the photographer kudos when you can, but make sure you're using images for your article writing, your posting, and things like that that don't have a copyright protected to them, because you can get yourself into trouble. I'm not your mom. I'm the Italian mother of 7, but I'm not your mama. I'm not giving you medical, legal, or financial advice. It's disclaimer for the evening, but I always say we should cover our bum, right? Otherwise, you know, our bum is exposed. Now, your name, so the headshot, please, as close as you can. You want to look at the camera, you want to smile, you want to seem approachable. There's like a huge stats, you know, the things that they take with the percentages. It changes all the time, but it's a very, very high rate of more conversations, connections, and people approaching you when you're looking at the camera, you're smiling, and you look professional. And it's very zoomed in. So you see it's, I mean, pretty much it's the neck up, right? Or sometimes as much as the shoulders up, and that's it. To keep it simple. Same with your name. You may have earned all these amazing letters behind your name, and I'm so proud of you, and so is your mom. But we have other places inside LinkedIn to put it. You don't want to put it here, because whenever you are speaking on any platform inside the computer, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, your website, anywhere you're talking to the world on the computer and the internet, you are also talking to the search engines and to the platform itself. So every time I make actions and do things in every single section of this profile, I'm letting LinkedIn know how much I participate and how much of a player I am. I'm also letting Google and all the search engines know about my keywords and how easy I am to find. And then I'm also speaking to the person I'm hoping to review, the human being that I want to see me, right? So just make sure that you remember that there are more than one person you're talking to. And if I, the human being, am going to search you, and if searches are being done about me, they're most likely being done with just my name. They don't remember all the things that I did and all the studies I did. So make sure and make it as clean as your name. This is a really fun thing. I don't know if they can hear sound on this, but this new little microphone allows you to pronounce your name for people, but there's a little bit more space in there. So I say have some fun and use it. And here's what I did.
I think you have to activate your audio on the top. It should show some sort of, I just don't remember.
When you have to stop sharing and then reshare again. And when you
not important. If you want to hear it, go connect with me and press the button. You can hear it later. But the point is, I was able to tell you more than just my name and tell you a little bit about what I can do, because they give you quite a bit of time there. So I'm saying use it. I don't want to spend too much time because I want to show you so many things. All right, your headline should be more than just what you're able, your title. It could be also what you can do for someone else. And then here, this is super important. And this has actually gotten me money and employment. So, and obviously I'm a consultant, I own my own company, so I've gotten independent contracts from this, but it doesn't matter if you're looking for a job or you're looking for a new client contract, right? These things are important. Websites, they give you 3, use all 3. I'm a believer, if you're a leader in your industry and you want to be seen at the top of your game and you're looking to be employed by really high level employers, you have a YouTube channel, talk about your industry, even talk about your hobbies if you feel like putting that together. But you should hopefully have 3 websites to use here, whether that's your, well, I have my own website, but you may have your Instagram account, your Facebook page, maybe you create a page, whatever it is you have, use it here. I put my phone number, that's totally up to you. You may not be comfortable with that. That's not for everyone. I have a PO box for my business, so I have that here. Again, email is the same. I'd encourage you to be at least open to allowing the world to email you. But again, this is everyone's comfort level. I have my Twitter here, and I also have my birthday. This is just the month and day. I would highly encourage it. And again, everyone has to do what's at their comfort level. But I will tell you that my birthday popped up on a past client's feed a couple of years ago, and she was on a committee to have a keynote speaker come to Denver. They flew me out. She said, "Oh, I saw your birthday invitation. I was thinking of you. I forgot about you. You know, it helped to remind me." Then I ended up with a contract for thousands of dollars to do work for her company and several others in the audience of the 500 women that I spoke and was the keynote for. So that was all because I allowed my birthday to be here. Filling out this piece is really important. And when you're inside here to fill it out, there's a form inside a form. So you get your main basic stuff. And then if you don't pay attention, there's an additional, well, I've filled everything out, but there's an additional pencil that'll pop up that gets you down to some of the details. But of course, I've done everything because I listen to myself occasionally. So there you go. So fill that out completely. All right. So the next big thing is on a Word doc. You'll thank me later. Don't do it inside LinkedIn. And I mean this with all love, but it's a little glitchy, the software sometimes. So if you build everything inside of here and then it fails to save, boy, will you not be happy. I would say you also want to put your contact information in here as well. You never want someone to have to hunt for it. So whatever you're willing to share, then you need to be sharing in 3 places. The first one is here. The second one's in the about section, and the last one is in your current experience section. So you always want it to have your contact information at least in 3 places because you want them to not have to look for you. 2,600 characters is what you're allowed here at this time. They just updated that tally. You're going to want to do that on a Word doc and then copy and paste that in here. Featured. If you don't have something to feature, find it. Get a written letter of reference from someone. Create a PDF training on project management tips. Create a speaker sheet if you have topics that you're skilled and educated to speak on. Put your resume in here. Fill it up. Put some stuff in here. Featured makes your profile look so much more powerful. Okay. We're going to talk about activity when we get to the article writing piece. Experience. If you're currently seeking a position, create an experience section that talks about the kind of company you want to work for, the kind of values you want it to have, the kind of things you can contribute, how you want to show up in the world and participate, and what you're passionate about. Make it a public cover letter in some respects, right? And we're going to talk about some other fascinating and innovative things in the job seeking space also that you can include in here. Again, include your media. Don't make them hunt for it. Just because you have your resume and a speaker sheet and references up there does not mean you can also add them here. It's very easy to do. You do it inside the pencil. You can also move these spaces around by using these little lines. So if I wanted, because I have more than one thing present at the moment, and you can move them around up and down and put them on top. Education, every bit of education you've ever had, please add here. So even if you just took a weekend course at a university or a single day course or one course, if you've given that university money, then you add them to your education piece and you can put in the description and the details what you did there and what you did with them. You should also be joining every single one of those alumni, even if it was a trade school or some sort of specialty school. For me, a matter of fact, I have to eat my own words. I need to add another certification and another course that because I'm constantly taking courses every year as well to upgrade myself. Volunteer experience. If you don't have some, get some. And we're going to talk about that a little bit more too, because it's super value. If you have a skill set and you're really hunting for something right now, the nonprofits of the world are really hurting and they could use whatever it is you know how to do. And having a written letter of reference on organizational letterhead is a huge benefit for you. Now, you do not give to get, but it is a guaranteed side effect, okay? So, and guess what else? That nonprofit has board members, and those board members are usually high-level C-suite people who have connections and who have people they can introduce you to. So give with a loving heart, give with nothing in expectation of getting anything in return, but give knowing that it can also be beneficial to your overall situation. And that's kind of just, in my opinion, how life works and life is good. Skills. Remember, I said I'm going really fast because I have so many things to show you. But skills, you get to put 50 in here. Remember, I told you that you're talking to not just the people who are looking at you, but you're also talking to the search engines, and you're also talking to LinkedIn. Whenever it hears and knows or wants to try to put things together, it's searching through what skills you've listed. Now, here's the deal. There's no skills police. So at least the first 20 need to be things you personally can actually do well. Guess what the rest of them can be? And it's totally okay, because these really act as a built-in keyword search engine. For example, I have realtors that, of course, they put real estate investing, realtor, they put all the things, customer service, all the things that are connected to being a realtor and their personal skills. But then after that, they put things like mortgage and new home build and new home renovation and all these different other words that surround the industry of real estate, okay, because they're connected to their industry and their keywords. So I also encourage my clients to create a Word doc that has 50 keywords connected to themselves and their industry of expertise. And on that Word doc, you can separate them by comma so that you have them in your back pocket whenever you need them for all the places you can go. Some places you'll have to push them out with hashtags in front of them, right? So then now you have your hashtags, you have your tags for your YouTube videos, you have whatever it is you need, and you don't have to hurt your brain so hard, right? Okay, so skills, use them all, okay? And they make this, they have this really, I personally keep one open so I can show you as an example. First of all, based on filling out your profile as completely as you can, LinkedIn is brilliant. It'll give you suggestions, but it's even more brilliant because look at this. If you put in customer, and just have one of you tell me that you don't deal with customers at all. I mean, maybe there's a few industries that you really don't ever talk to a customer, but I can't imagine a business without a customer, because what is a business without a customer, right? So we're all experienced on some level in customer retention, customer experience, customer support, customer insight, sales, customer engagement, acquisition. Do you understand what I'm saying here? So they have this really nifty tool that if you put in just a keyword for your industry, you will get a whole bunch of ideas of what other keywords you can use. So building that list of 50 now seems much less daunting and much less difficult, right? So there you go. Use that. Oh, and to move them around. So to add a new is how you put them and how you add them. To move them around, because you really only see the top 3, right? So you want to decide what those top 3 are. You simply unpin one of these and then come down here and choose one of the ones that you would like. And then to move them in order, you again can just drag and move around these other pieces. All right. So recommendations, I'm at 52. Totally my goal is 100 by the end of the year. So you should have a goal too of at least 5 to 10 of them. Give some and get some. I have given some and I've gotten some. The LinkedIn algorithm, so I hear, could be rumor, maybe somebody knows something, I don't know, but I hear they like it when you are pretty close to double the amount you've been received than you've given, because it makes it look like you're not just, I'll give you one if you give me one, I'll give you one if you give me one, playing that game and making yourself look more credible than you are, more organically and genuinely are. These algorithms are smart stuff. Just ask the big guys. I'm picking on you a little bit there. All right, so all of these things here, all of these things here are super important. Organizations, think back to the last corporations and industries you've worked with. If you work with, maybe you work with a steel company, I'm sure they were a member of the National Association of Steel Manufacturers or something, right? You're guilty by association. So find out what organizations your past corporations have been a member of, add them here with the timeline. So you started with a company, you ended with a company. So that's how long you had an affiliation to that national association. They make you look beefy, man. You can also go to those associations and add the descriptions, courses, honors, awards. So you're going to go into your add a profile section, and under accomplishments, you're going to go through these with a fine-tooth comb. And projects. Every single person has done a million gazillion projects. Maybe you helped redesign the onboarding process, you redesigned the handbook or manual at your company, you were part of acquisition of additional locations and corporate to grow your corporation, and it grew by 30% while you were with the company. That's a project. Describe the project. Describe how many people you manage, what your estimated budget was for that project. Share with them some impressive things about you that they can imagine you doing for them, right? So publications. We are a self-published world, okay? You write an article, guess what? That's a publication, especially if you have it in a blog somewhere on your website or on your, even YouTube can be considered a published video piece, right? So you can, and you get to even add, I love this, you get to even add the link back, and I could add so many more publications myself, but just imagine I'm busy too. But there is a space for you to add the link where the publication lives, which is awesome. Interests, make sure you're following your industry, you're following influences, the companies that we're going to talk about that you're interested in working with, you're going to want to make sure you're following them. Groups are your friend. So groups for your industry when you're looking for employment are huge. If you were looking for customers, I'd say go look for groups where your customers live, right? So think about the kinds of groups that you want to make sure that you're in and following, but 100% do not miss these key groups. There are groups based on camaraderie and really feeling tight-knit and close. Really high level loyalty. Those are your college alumni or any kind of school alumni. Also, any kind of religious or high level close club or organization. For example, I don't know, the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the Masons. I don't know what you have in Canada. I'm just giving examples of ones I know. And then the next group that has a high level of loyalty, very funny and ironic, but true, is your hobbies. If you're into hiking or camping or running or whitewater rafting or bungee cord jumping or whatever crazy thing you like to do, the other crazy people who like to do that too feel like you're their best buddies because you share this common interest. Join those groups, have conversations, build relationships, let them know what you're looking for. And if they know someone, they're going to introduce you. That is the beautiful thing about LinkedIn. It is like this global chamber of commerce that has the ability to have you reach out across the world, and they could know someone right in your hometown, and that could help you or support you or introduce you to someone that will be fantastic for you. All right, now so I kind of dressed us from head to toe. I'm going to take a bit of a breath and see if there's any questions. Are we good?
Any questions, anyone? If you want to come off to mute and ask your questions.
I have a question about activities. I know that you haven't mentioned yet, so I don't know if it's the time to ask, but I'm very curious about activities, how to boost this area and how to get more attention to our profile when we start sharing material.
So activity is connected to all the posting that you do. So if you hit my see all activity, you'll be able to see articles I've written, posts that I've done, as well as documents that I've posted. So you should also, again, have your document here. So, if you have a resume or something like that, add your documents. This is a special and additional place to do that. Posts are just like when you're at home, we're going to look at that. They're just your standard post, but articles are a whole another ball game, and we'll look at those in just a minute. And I think I'm approaching 150 articles at this point, and I've just done them organically over time. And this is all of your activities. So really that is kind of what it shows you in the article writing space. And now, if there aren't any more questions, and I'm going to show you how to write an article, and I'm going to give you a bunch of tips on that as well in just a second. But first, I also want to cover a couple of other quick things. Was that helpful? No, yes? Okay. And we'll talk about engagement and trying to get people to interact with you and how else to share it and what else to do with it and all those wonderful things, hopefully, if we have time. All right, the other thing I want you to do is edit public profile. You need your URL to be as clean and tight as possible to your name. Now, I had to add a number 1, mostly because I am number 1 after all, but there was another Jessica out there, so I could have done my middle initial or something like that, but I went with a number 1 because I felt it was appropriate. So, all right, so we're going to run through this top toolbar up here, okay? So home is just that. It's your news feed, just like in any other, no offense to LinkedIn, but like any other platform, everybody has a news feed. Here's things that you can add to your feed, so hashtags and other things. So it shows you, and it shows me what my pages are, what I've looked at maybe recently, some of my groups, events that I set up. Events are amazing. I would highly recommend, if you are currently seeking work and you feel brave, I mean, use your Zoom link and set up on Eventbrite and teach something about what you do. Give the, the 5 things to avoid when managing a project, or do, I keep picking on you because you're the only one I know what you do. I'm so sorry for project management, but whatever it is you teach, it doesn't matter the subject, but you can teach something about what you do, right? You train people, no offense to anyone here, but nobody looked like a spring chicken so much so that you don't have enough experience that you can teach someone something. Hashtags, this helps really filter some of what you see in your news feeds. And really, I think that's all I need to show you on this page at the moment. Now, this is my favorite way, and there's always more than one way, but this is my favorite way to write an article, go to my article space, but I'm going to get back to that. So my network, this is a hugely important piece here. Oh, I'm sad I don't see everybody. Not everybody sent me a connection request. So sad. All right.
Those people that just accepted are the ones that in the call. So
okay, I know, but I didn't see everyone. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Just kidding. All right, so right after the home, we're gonna go to. If we can't have fun, I'm out. I'm sorry. That's the only way I play. So we have home. We did that. Now we're at my network. Oh, see, someone else jumped on. When you ask, you receive. So when these are the steps, thank you so much, by the way. I love being connected globally to wonderful people. So when you click my network, right now, the steps on this section of the video are going to show you how to export all your contacts. Again, I'm a lover of LinkedIn. I train it everywhere, but I don't own this platform, and I don't own, and I'm not in control of it. And one day they might say, we tried it, we liked it, we're out. And all of that can go away. My connections, however, and my data and my articles, and everything I filled out in my profile and my pictures and all of those things do belong to me. And LinkedIn so kindly gives me the ability to export them. And I recommend you put on your electronic calendar from now until the end of eternity, every 3 months, once a quarter, go ahead and export your data. And when you're doing that, by the way, export it from Facebook. Make sure you're backing things up to external hard drives. Make sure you're backing things up to the cloud. Make sure all the things that are important to you once a quarter are updated. Because if anything were to happen, goodness forbid, then you would at least be up to date by the last 3 months, right? How good is that? Back up your emails, back up everything, because, I just think it's a good idea. All right. So this is how to back up. This is one of the ways. You can go other ways, lots of different ways, but here's some steps that are easy to do it. So you go to My Network, you go to the number of connections you have, you hit Manage Synced and Imported Contacts, you export contacts, and then you want the whole enchilada. Now, I don't know if you guys had in Canada Inspector Gadget, Inspector Gadget, but I watched it as a girl. I'm aging myself. I know. I don't care. 48 and Fabulous just had a birthday, January 12th. You download your data, but this message will self-destruct. So you need to make sure you download it, because if you do not, then you'll have to wait a certain amount of time to download it again. And sometimes it takes 24 hours or longer, and often it comes in 2 separate zip files, and often it goes to your spam folder. So if you do not watch it, or you do not check back here again, like if I had not come to this page, I would not have known my download is available. They do also send you an email, but sometimes it goes away, and then when it goes away, you got to wait to ask again. So you want to make sure you pay attention when you download. Don't go in, oh, I did that thing the 3 months, and then you never get your zip folder. So that's important.
Jessica, can you do this again, please? Just,
Sure. So you click the My Network button.
Mhm.
You click the number of your connections. Mine is 5,714. It's about to be more. Then at the very top, in very small writing, it says Manage Synced and Imported Contacts. You click that. And then you hit Export Contacts. And then you hit the whole enchilada, and you ask to download it, and they'll make you put your password in again. And actually, I was just showing an example. It comes in a zip folder like this, and your contacts document, so I own a virtual assistant company, and my clients have us go to this connection. So first you would have to extract all your data, and then you would open up the Excel sheet that says connections, not contacts. Contacts are those people that you uploaded into LinkedIn. So if you shared your phone connections or your address book or your email or whatever and uploaded those people into LinkedIn and imported them so that LinkedIn could send them a message to say, hey, let's connect on LinkedIn, that's what your contacts are. Connections are the people who've actually connected to you. And in that Excel sheet, I may have an example up. LinkedIn connections. These are some of my LinkedIn connections. Now, my team, all that LinkedIn gives you is first name, last name, the very few email addresses, company name, and position, and the date they're connected on. But my team goes in and fills in things like their birthday, multiple phone numbers. We find their email address. We fill it out more complete. We find an address. We find all this data, because your connections are dollars for you. They can be someone that refers you business, introduce you for podcast speaking opportunity, introduce you for a speaking opportunity. In my example, and in my world, becomes a client, buys your services. So your contacts are in my dollars. So for us, we want multiple ways to campaign and reach out to them, but non-spammy, very individual, one at a time. We do the research, we reach out to them. We have things in common. Many of them, many of them, I truly know personally, or I'm in groups together with them and things like that. So I don't encourage you to be unprofessional or spammy, but having your data like that is very, very helpful, especially if you're if LinkedIn, you just were no longer on it, right? Or it went away or something happened, right? You really want that. So that's why I say that that's important. This is an interesting space here. LinkedIn does some nice things. These are people that I have in common with this individual. These are pages that they think I might like to follow. These are people that they recommend for me based on things that we have in common or interests that I have. And I highly recommend not pressing the connect button. I always go to their profile. I always find things we have in common. I always write a personal note. I don't just sit here and hit connect, because it's a waste of my time, and it's, in my opinion, insulting to these people, because, I mean, some of them will connect with you anyway, even though you do it. I just don't personally feel like it's the right way to behave. So anyway, a little bit of my own personal opinion, LinkedIn ethics. Okay, so we're going to move right along. So jobs, this one's hugely important, but I'm going to say that I don't know about what's happening in Canada, but the last stat I heard was there's 833,000 unemployed in the United States. And I don't know what's happening where you are, but it is a tough market right now because of what's been faced in the world. And so it is really good for you to, fill out your place here. I do love that your LinkedIn is a living resume, and they do have what they have. It's just like an auto easy apply. That's what they call it. I was going to say auto apply, but here for the example, this particular company, has an easy apply, which means this company is going to accept my LinkedIn profile almost like my resume. It doesn't mean I can't also get my resume to them, but it makes it nice and quick. So if you take the time and dress yourself from head to toe, like we discussed, and really go through all these details, really super important to do. But here's what I'm going to say to you. I'm going to say, yes, follow this. Yes, use this. But I wouldn't make this my #1 strategy. Here is what I'm a big believer in a law of attraction and vision boards and manifestation and having that powerful energy, and really think about what it is that you want. And I'm going to show you some unique ways to find the companies that exactly match what you desire, and then have you approach them whether or not they have an opening for your job position. Because interesting thing about that is that's more memorable and more profound. And really, you know, you'd be surprised. I know people who've taken this approach and they've made a position for them. They've opened something up for them, or they were the first contacted when something was open because they took a new and innovative approach. So, you know, it is great to follow this. You can see there's 20 applicants here. There's none here. So this is 1 day ago. So if this is what I was hoping for, then that might be great for me. And I'm not saying you shouldn't apply just because there's 20 already. If that's something you really want to do and where you really want to be, then absolutely. I'm just anybody can teach you this piece, and I really like to teach you some new and innovative ways to approach this. Messaging is just what that is messaging. It's just like any other messaging. It's conversations with the individuals. Notifications. I love staying up to date on this. Again, you're telling the platform that, yes, I'm here, I'm paying attention, I am, you know, keeping up on my notifications and using it. So it's good to let the platform know that you're using it. Part of that is because it'll give you sometimes, in some cases, access to new and beta tested little features and things that not everybody on the platform always gets right away when you show up and are using it properly. Inside this work here, post a job. That's if you're a corporation who wanted to post a job. The learning piece, there's a way for you to access some of the learning via the library. So I'll show you that. Insights. This is Insights and Profiler. This is much like Indeed and Glassdoor, and just kind of giving you ideas of average salary in different cities and locations. I believe Find Leads is for your premium. Groups is just that. It's group. ProFinder is also for a premium. Everything I've ever done on LinkedIn, I've only used the free version thus far. One of these days that might change. I don't know. But at this point, that's what I've done. Now, I do want to show you. So I didn't spend a lot of time in jobs, and they're thinking, here we are. We want to get hired. Why isn't she showing us a ton of stuff in jobs? Because like I said, I want to show you how to take this from a different perspective. Obviously, you could put in the search title and the company, and obviously I made some, I've done lots of training for job organizations throughout the country. And so I pulled up pieces for my piece, but I also, interesting enough, as a freelance consultant and owning my own corporation, sometimes when a company needs something, I'll offer to do it for them as an independent contractor and a consultant, because it saves them a ton of money from an employee, right? So that's another prospecting tool for me. And that's also something I would highly recommend you at least keeping in the back of your mind and considering doing some freelance project work and offering organizations to do something on a project, an independent contractor process, until you're stable and find the thing of your dreams. Doesn't mean you have to be an entrepreneur or run your own business forever or whatever. It's just a thought. Now, what I want to show you is this. So, and I've done this in, have helped clients in Australia and London and all kinds of places. Oops, wrong thing. So I know that it works everywhere. So the library systems, you're going to have to go and see yours. And I know the name of the database that I looked at with your fearless leader was a different one. But this library happens to have Scott's business database. I'm going to show you a sample of, you sign in with your library card number. It has businesses, but it has a huge amount of filters. And it's super, super amazing. And you will just absolutely love it. And I'm going to give you a sample of what it looks like and why and how to use it in just a second. Lynda is pretty much the LinkedIn training portal that costs money, but in disguise and free with your library card. So lynda.com if you wanted to, while you're in transition or wanting to sharpen your skills, or you wanted to add a few more certifications or short courses that you can easily complete quickly to your resume, then this is a great resource for that. All right, so let me show you what this database looks like and why it matters. We had fun with this, didn't we? This is an exciting thing to do. Now, granted, this is the one I have in the United States, so obviously this is my example for you. Inside here, so first of all, whenever you're entering it, you have to go, this is my library website. I have to go in through my library, and then it gives me a place to enter the passcode or the enter key or whatever they call it for yours, and that is your library card. And then that takes you here, and hopefully they haven't timed me out. So we're going to go into an advanced search. Really cool thing, they save your searches, and there's a gazillion filters. So women-owned business. So here's what I'm going to ask you to think about. Think about this opportunity and this transition in your life a different way. Don't go hunting who's hiring, how can I get my resume to them, how do I stand out, what do I do, how do I make them like me? No. Take a deep breath, take a step back and say, where do I want to go? What is the company that I would want to work for? Are they women-owned? Do they have this amazing mission or vision? Are they touching lives somewhere? Do I want to be somewhere local to me? Does it matter? Can I commute? Can I telecommute? What do I want it to be? You get to decide. So let's say you decided based on, we'll do based on city. And so maybe regional matters to you, and maybe a certain kind of company. And we always want headquarters or branch selected because, and it'll probably be in your selection too. And your choices in the filter will look very similar to this, I have no doubt, because these run pretty much the same. And they should have training videos. They should have great customer service. They should even answer the phone, which mine does. It's bizarre. Oh, I know, like, hello, that's a live person. You're going to really answer my question? In less than 3 minutes, you answered me? It's a human? It's really crazy. But these databases are super expensive, and so they have really good customer service. Maybe you want the company to have a certain employee size because that matters to you based on the kind of service you provide. Maybe you're HR, so you don't want to do HR if there's only 3 employees, right? So, think about if that matters to you. But at very least, I'm going to tell you, annual revenue absolutely matters, okay? Because if they don't have enough money and then they're not doing well enough, then they might be closing their doors. I don't know about you, but I've seen a lot of, I drove by an IHOP. I don't know if you know what IHOP is, International House of Pancakes. OMG, it was closed. They had shut down. So the world is bizarro land, and we want to make sure they have enough revenue in their back pocket so that they do decide to hire us. And we get all excited because we now have, well, in Canada, I think you always have health insurance. But here in the United States, we get very excited about a good job because we get health insurance. Don't judge us. We're a disaster already, okay? I was born in America. Don't blame me. All right. I actually talked to someone, and I've made so many amazing friends in Canada, but they were not nice to me. And it was because I was American. She was Canadian. I was like, oh my God, I've never experienced prejudice like this. Weird. Everybody else has embraced and loved me, and they've got a room for me and a chocolate on their pillow for when I can come across the border. So I don't know, who knows? Craziness, but it's not my fault. Don't blame me. My economy and my country is bizarro and nuts right now. Anyway, you can also search for Fortune 1000, right, if you wanted. Or you could exclude those if you didn't want to work for them. You could look for public and privately held. You could look for women-owned. All of these things. I mean, it's just like a smorgasbord of choices, and you get to decide. That's what I'm telling you. Take control of this job search. You get to decide who you want to work for. All right, since we're going to go with annual revenue, we're going to get rid of Fortune 1000 this time for this example. But I don't know. What state do you like? Anybody? Anything? Got something? Give me something. Learn me something. No, yes.
Arizona.
Texas. Where?
Arizona.
Arizona? I lived in Phoenix.
I spent 2 years there. Arizona State University, yes.
All right, we're going to go with Phoenix. Phoenix, Arizona. Where are you, Phoenix? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I know you're laughing at me. That is the idea. All right, Phoenix. And let's say we want IT companies. I don't know why we want IT companies, but information. Oh, you know, there's a rule and there's a law that says if people are watching you, let's say we want those. Let's say we want headquarters or single location, because these are the places where the decision makers live. Places without decision makers are not going to hire you. And we want people with the big bucks, man. We want them to be able to pay you a big fat salary, right? And guess what? If they're making less than 10 million, I don't know exactly what the range is, but I'm guessing they're probably not going to be paying you 6 figures, right? You got to think about what it is you want to make and what kind of company you want to work for. Now we're going to update this count. Whew, there's a big fat 6 on our list. Okay, now here's the exciting thing. Your goal is to be just less than 1,000 or a couple of hundred, because anything more than 1,000 is not going to export on your Excel sheet. But let's just take a look for giggles at this company. Okay, now if we opened it up and we went for any IT company that made this kind of money throughout the country, or even throughout, well, I don't think this database isn't national. It is just the United States. But and you could work virtually, and that was your goal, and that was one of the things you were going to approach them with, then that's okay too. So this doesn't have to be limited to area. I just wanted to show you the amazing pieces of information you can get here, okay? So you're going to get their website, how many employees they have, what's their annual revenues, when they were established. This is a privately held company. This is a big honker company to still be privately held. Kudos for them, right? Usually they sell out, man. Got those stock in the exchange. Here's your SIC and NAICS codes in the United States. Those are government distinguations of the different services. And news. These are the press releases. Here's the deal, people. If you want them to give you money, you have to have at least the willingness to do some research, do some homework. You want them to put money in your bank account, right? So you want to make sure you know what's going on with them. And it's also a really good idea to know what's going on with them if you're going to be putting your livelihood and your family's livelihood in their hands, right? Happy Christmas, Merry Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you love, Mazel Tov. Look, email addresses, contact names of individuals, people that you can connect with on LinkedIn. You can follow their LinkedIn page. You can check out what's going on their YouTube channel. You should go to their website. You should know their vision, their mission, the cause and the charity they care about. Guess what you could do? You could volunteer for that cause, do something great for them, get something written on written letter, nonprofit organizational letterhead from them, and submit it with your resume. Don't you think you'd stand out? That's brilliant, and I know it. Even if they don't have a position that they want, look here right now, it says no job postings, but they're making money, people. So don't you think that you would have a greater chance approaching someone here and say, hey, I would love to have an informational interview with you. I realize you're not hiring right now. I don't see anything open and available, but I would love to get to know more about the inner works of your company and share with you about me in case something comes up. And the other great thing I'm going to tell you is, you can Google the top 100 questions that are asked in an interview. Wouldn't it be great to drive the bus? Wouldn't it be great for you to have the perfect interview, the one that you knew the questions, you had the answers you wanted, you got to choose them? Well, I say have that interview. Record yourself and make a presentation as an informational interview, choosing the average interview questions or the top interview questions that you are most drawn to. Share with them using those questions as a structure, the different things about you and what you're excited about, and have that video available on LinkedIn, in an email that you send to someone that has the resume and you're looking for the job. Hey, I just thought you might want to take a look at this. How many of those do you think they get? How many boring resumes do you think they get versus the informational video? Now, it is up and coming and trending, so it is happening, but it is still in such the smallest of percentages that you can up your game. You can stick out. And if you did that with this kind of thing, and even if you made a short video directed directly at them, hey, I did some research, I came across your company, I love what you stand for, I love the mission and vision, I love when you did XYZ, if you look at their white papers or their past clients, whatever it is, make it personal to them, okay? Make it matter, because that's what matters to them. If you see something that's going on in their company that is in the press releases, also Google Alerts, set up a Google Alert for them if this is, so what I want you to do is, at minimum, I hope that you will do this, build an Excel sheet of 50 of these companies that you really, really want to work with. And all 50 of those, follow them, their company pages on LinkedIn, go to every one of their, create an Excel sheet or put them in a CRM database, whatever it is you have that you're tracking, put them on a Trello board, whatever you got. And start tracking what's going on with them. Watch their press releases. If they have a problem or something that's happening in one of their press releases that you have a solution for, make sure you're reaching back out. Hey, I just want to check back in. I saw this in a press release. I have this great idea, you know, use it or don't use it, but I thought it would help. You know, because one of, like, for example, I saw on one of the press releases where an organization was looking for non-social media and web-based ways to advertise their brand new website. So they were looking for, you know, billboards and other suggestions and ideas. And they put this in a press release. One of them wanted more health coaching and team benefits for preventative issues to incorporate that as a company plan. So if you know anything about organizing that or planning that or researching it or finding the right person or whatever it is that you could contribute to what they're announcing, I mean, they're giving you the signals in these press releases. They're telling you what they want and they need. Now, I ask you, if you go and find these people, reach out to connect with them on LinkedIn. If the email addresses here aren't right, this, just like canva.com has a free version, not a temporary trial, not a, you got to put a credit card in. It's actual get to use it as much as you want under, you know, for these limited pieces, which I've always only ever used the Canva free version. I do tons of stuff in there. This actually has a free version. This will allow you to put a company name in. I don't know what the name of the company was, but let's just do Best Buy. All right, and I'll let you put the company name in, and it will let you get up to 50 email addresses a month for free. So beyond that, you know, well, that's too many. But if you had people's names or so you could find someone specific, you can export to a CSV file, like all of these things. Now I can't have all of them because it's 300 or whatever it is. But my point is there are ways you can also find ways to email. And if you email someone more high level, that's okay. You can say, hey, wanted to reach out, really be happy if you'd introduce me to the appropriate team member for XYZ. Because guess what? An inner office email, especially if it comes from someone higher up to the appropriate person, man, what are the odds of them opening that email versus the email from you? You hear me? You feel me? See? Really good stuff. Okay. Article writing. Oh gosh, so many things. Okay. The other thing I want to tell you to do is do reach out. I'm pretty sure you guys have chambers of commerce. And reach out to your local chamber of commerce, because a lot of those chambers of commerce are doing virtual networking right now. And even though you're not a member and don't pay to be a member, say, hey, I was wondering, I'm in transition, I'm looking for employment. I was wondering two questions you can ask, because a lot of, not all of them, but many of them, if you ask, will, the executive directors of the chambers in my region or throughout the country here in the United States, will share your resume with their followers and members, because it helps their members out when they're looking for the right talented person. They will also allow you to attend the next Mixer, Business After Hours, or virtual networking, possibly, right, via Zoom, as a guest for free. And then you can say, hey, I was, you know, granted the ability to come when it's your turn and you're going around the circle and everyone's doing their 30-second commercial. Hey, I was granted the opportunity to be a guest at this chamber. I'm in transition and this is what I'm looking for. So if you happen to know someone, I would love an introduction. So this gives you an opportunity to get in front of business owners. And there's also a ton of free virtual networking that is international and global. And even you can even find things that are virtual right now and within your region in Canada, if that's where you really want to stay as far as networking goes. And then again, just, find out if it's free, attend it as a guest sometimes once, even if it isn't, and let people know. The more people who know what you are looking for, the more odds increase that you'll actually receive it. The other thing I say to do is think about your industry. If you are a business professional, or if you're in the healthcare industry, if you're in the real estate industry, whatever industry you're in, find a podcast, reach out to a podcast host and say, hey, I'd love an opportunity to share these skills or information or knowledge with your audience. Really love your podcast. A compliment goes a long way. Podcast is blood, sweat, and tears that they're building. They want to hear they have a fan. And say, I'd love to be a guest if you ever have an opening. And then you become this industry leader as well as you're writing your articles. We're going to show that. I'm going to show you that in a minute. I just want to make sure I told you all this. Okay, mission, vision, Google Alerts. I told you about that. Podcast chamber. Okay, video. Now, this is one of my other favorite place to find podcasts. So you can find databases and resources and amazing things for podcasts. Now, let's take a wicked fast look at the whole writing the article thing. It's so simple. You're going to blink your eyes. I know I only have 1 minute. I actually have less than a minute, but I'm going to do it anyway. Here we go. Click article. You add a picture. Guess where you get it? From Pixabay. Yep. Ooh, I forgot to tell you this. I know, cut me off. I'll talk forever all night, but hang on. One more thing. So you don't have to be witty or smart, or if your brain just hurts or you just don't think you could think of one more thing. Free headline generator. This is one of my favorite ones, I think. So you can put in a topic. Oh, guess what I'm going to pick on? Project manage. I can never spell. Don't laugh at me. Okay, laugh at me. I like it. All right. So then you're going to roll down and you're going to see 101. I wouldn't suggest writing that article. Maybe 10 ideas for project management. 5 brilliant ways to teach your audience about project. Maybe that's not it. But anyway, the idea here is you can look at some of these things and get a snappy, maybe tweak it a little, change it a little, so that you have a great headline for your article, so you don't have to think of that. And yes, you're welcome, because some days my brain hurts. Okay, image, headline, and then here you can add. So guess what? You could do one all about you. So this top picture, Canva, use the blog post header to right size the image. You could do your headshot. You can do an article all about you, and you can include the link to your resume. You can include the link to the video that you've uploaded on YouTube. That's your information interview that you're sharing about yourself, and you're in the bus driving seat of this interview. You can share other images, other links of articles on topics in your industry and your opinions on those. Hey, here's a great article in our industries. Here's some of the thoughts I had on it. You can include the link. Make yourself an end of article signature line. Remember how I had told you to take that Word doc and make a keyword list? Add to a Word doc. Just like you have an end of email signature line, create an end of article signature line. Thank you for taking the time to read the article above. If I can help you with any of your project management needs, please feel free to contact me. I am really looking to work with a kind of company that has values, that supports a community, that whatever it is women owned, go girl power. I don't know, whatever makes you happy, float your boat. But create that end of article signature line. And then some of the keywords in my industry are the very last thing in that, right? And of course, your contact information and all the links for all the things, all the places. I think I need to breathe now. And I think my show time is over, but I hope I did something amazing for you with your job search that wasn't just the plain old boring doohickeys. I forgot to tell you about decoders. Oh my God, this is the best thing ever. So say somebody called you and they wanted to interview you, the HR person, pretend it's me. I have this great, amazing tool If you want to learn more about it, you can. But it tells you the best way to talk to me. It gives you kind of, based on how I've written my profile, the things that matter to me. And nurturing me, the N means that I'm very community focused and I want everyone to win. The A means I'm very action. So don't beat around the bush or give me lots of facts and figures and pie charts because I'm totally lost if you do that to me. The blue means I like system, steps, and processes, but mostly because it's in third position. When I get a little bit stressed, I need a checklist. And knowledge, if knowledge had been first, then you totally want to give me all the facts, all the science, all the pie charts, and all the things up front before you tell me what great cause it's going to love and support and nurture. So this way, when you are going through interviews, you have a little bit of an edge because you know what languages speak to them. You know what to put first in your presentation of yourself because you know it matches the code of how they speak. It's a really fascinating tool. I love artificial intelligence. And I'm going to stop talking now. I'm done. Thank you.
No, you're good. You're good. How did you get that personality decoder? Do you have to add on, or because I don't see it?
Well, you're part of the company, and I'm going to get myself probably in trouble, but it's a Google add-on. So I pay for a monthly service for that company, and they have a Google extension that clicks in. But yeah, don't get me in trouble, will you? You can use it without the extension by just copying and pasting like the about section into the software itself, which is what we used to do before they created the widget. I don't think the widget's illegal or against the rules. I don't know. All these softwares are very touchy about all the things. So,
Yeah.
Am I
So
fired?
what's the name of that software or the app?
Am I fired?
No, you're good. You're good. What's the name of that?
I'm licensed and certified trainer and reseller of the software, and it's Code Breaker Technology, bank code. So that was a shameless plug and pitch for something I provide, but you know, I have a family of 6 kids that I mentioned. I got to feed these people. 7. I have 7 kids. I lost a kid. 6 adults and 1 child, 1 9-year-old. Yeah. So anyway, but I find that really helpful, and I love things like that because everybody thinks a little bit differently, and we all have all of those kinds of personality traits, but some of them are more forefront than others. And when we can present ourselves that way in an interview or in our wording in the email and how we're communicating, it really does give us an edge on somebody else. And let's face it, right now there's always somebody else. So gosh, I hope I did okay and was helpful.
Awesome.
You did great, Jessica. You really were amazing. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You have a few minutes, Jessica, for some Q&A?
I have all the minutes. I feel guilty that I didn't leave more. There was just so many things, like I said, I wanted to show you.
Okay, let's open up for any questions from the folks here. So feel free to unmute yourself, raise your hand, or go ahead and unmute yourself, ask your question. Come on, guys.
Yeah, please. I mean, I feel insulted.
Okay.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Ahmed.
So just very quickly, it's not a question. It's actually a comment. I just wanted to thank you for the article writing piece, because this was a little bit of a puzzle for me, and I didn't know how to really start it. So thank you very much for that. I think you put us on the right way when it comes to the topic, and you can plug it into this generator, the headline generator thing, and from there you can get some really interesting titles, and you can take it off with your thoughts as well, and you start adding your own value inside of there. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, my pleasure.
Do you have any tips when we go to the profile portion and we have to add all our experience? If There are two cases. So either there are people that they're looking to change their career, so they worked in some areas and they're looking for something else, or there are people like me that I have a range of experience and it's difficult to tailor to each job that I'm applying for. So in those two cases, it's difficult to open up too much, and then the person will look at me in the way that they shouldn't, because I haven't tailored to their requirements, to their position. So do you have any tips for that? Like, should I just, right now I just reduced to 3 main points that take their attention, but I don't know if I'm doing the right way.
Well, you might think this is bad advice, but I am going to say to you, think about, do you have a spot and time in your career where it was your dream job? You loved going in every day. You were excited to get in. You didn't want to leave. You really loved what you do. You didn't want to tell them, but you probably would have done it for free because you loved doing it that much. Do you have something like that you do that you know about, that makes your heart sing?
Yes.
Focus on that, because then you start putting your energy and your time and your focus and your emphasis on that, and then that is what the universe will send you, and that is what you will find. And the position that has that opportunity, that makes your face light up and your life valuable, and you give 10 times more value to all the people's lives you touch and help in that position, because you're so passionate about it. All the rest doesn't matter. All the rest is just a paycheck, and it's just money in the bank. And believe me, there's always money. I know that doesn't seem that way maybe sometimes when you're in transition, you don't have a job right now, but there is so much money in the world, and it hasn't gone away because of COVID, and it hasn't gone away because of politics are crazy or people are crazy. People come back down from being totally crazy. We're always a little crazy. This is just human nature. But the money hasn't gone away. Investors are buying more than ever. People in the companies. Did you just see me look up at this private company? I never heard of them. Did you hear of them? Did you see how much money they're making? OMG, holy cow, Batman. So money is there. So do what makes you happy.
Okay, thank you.
There is another question in the chat: how to balance between overselling and underselling in the LinkedIn?
I think you're going to hate me, but it falls right back into what I'm saying. Here I am. It's, 9/11 on a weeknight, and my family is in the other room. And I am here because I love talking about LinkedIn and the Global Chamber of Commerce. And I love the fact that hopefully I've shown you something that's going to give you an idea, that's going to have you build that list of 50 companies, that's going to then take your family on some great vacation, or give you peace, or help you feel more comfort. And you're on the other side of the world, and I would have never met you if you didn't care about this topic and I didn't love it so much. And that bleeds through. So if you're talking about things and writing articles about things and doing videos about things and speaking on podcasts about things that make your heart sing, then you're never going to seem salesy. You're always going to say, dag, I want what that girl has. I love my life. I kayak. I have 7 beautiful kids. I have an amazing job. I got to meet this great guy. And so people say to me, I just want to hang out with you because you love your life so much. So love your life. Even if you're in transition, because then people will want you as part of their team. People who are cranky and hate everything, they're kind of the cancer company, the cancer of the company, and they have to let them go and cut them out. Have you not shared a cubicle with that person? You have worked next to them. I know you've had someone in your company. Oh my God, I've got to leave the coffee room because they came in because they're going to suck the life out of me. You don't want to be that person. Be that person who loves your life. Find something about you and your life that you love. And you'll never seem salesy. You'll seem like that person. Hey, they're cool. I want to hang out with them.
Thank you, Jessica. Does that answer your question, Motaz? Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Anyone?
Bueller? See that movie?
Okay, so if there is no other questions, I wanna, thank Jessica a lot for this amazing call today, and we really love your passion, we really love your energy, and everything that you told us today is amazing. And I want to invite you again, Jessica, to join us in another 2 weeks. We have Dr. Paul Newton who is in the call. He's gonna show us his talent in storytelling. Dr. Paul also did books, and he helps people writing their books, and he's gonna be joining us in 2 weeks time to share with us how we can craft our stories in the interviews. Dr. Paul, do you want to share a few seconds here?
Thank you, Ahmed. Hello, everyone. Thanks so much, Jessica. I am going to rewatch this and take a lot of notes and go through all the websites. And there's so many things I'm going to do because I work for myself. I've always worked for myself. I don't know what a job's like, and I feel a little bit behind on all these things. However, what I do know is that the people that do the best in companies and keeping themselves current can tell a good story about what they do and the value they add. And that's what we'll be focusing on, is just how to sound really interesting, how to take your stories about what you've done and frame them in the right way. Because there's a way to tell a boring story and there's a way to tell a good story, same details. So do the right thing, do the videos that Jessica's talking about, and you will just kick butt.
You will. And oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed now. How was my story? Did I do okay? What kind of grade do I get? What kind of grades?
You're engaged the whole way. I mean, like, I know what your home probably looks like. I don't know. I know a lot about you. You gave a lot of insight into your life, and that's what we want to do, because companies hire people, not just positions. And that's what's actually going to take us into the future when we're competing with machines and computers, is our personalities, who we are, and that we're not the cancer, and it will be good to have you in the company.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And that's why things like the kayaking details and the bungee cord jump, whatever it is you love to do, is so important. And that's why I went through volunteer, because that speaks something about you. You're giving them breadcrumbs of information to your story, as he mentions, when you fill that out so very completely. I love how much we complement each other, Paul. I'm so excited that I got to meet you too. And I was just so privileged to be here tonight in general. Thank you.
Thank you so much.